Hey, homegirl homies, it's Javier Vidana. And yes, I look a little rough. I've been showing houses all day. I'm tired, but I wanted to sit down here and make a video for you guys. I usually check the market every morning and evening to see if I see anything funny. And this past week, there's been something that caught my eye that I believe is going to indicate the first major shift in the real estate market that we've been waiting for. So I want to explain to you in this video what that is. And I want you guys to be more aware of these things I'm going to talk about in your local area. And maybe please leave in the comments below if there's something happening. So let's get to it. So what I'm using to check the numbers out every day is the MLS, or in my case, ARMList, which is the Arizona Residential Multiple Listing Service. Only realtors can access this. I'm sorry. So maybe you can ask your realtor, or maybe you can use one of those local searches to get an idea. So let me show you what I'm looking at. So first things first, what I like to do is I like to look at the active listings on the market and I compare them with what's been selling for the last 30 days. So in theory, if there were to be no more new listings today, or for the next month, how long would it take to sell the inventory we have? In a normal market, we usually have 2 or 3 months. That's when you don't feel that pressure. Let me show you what it's been, at least here in my local area. So if I look, last 30 days, there has been 9,649 sales. Well, what we've had for the last month, 2 months, is been a consistent 7,800, 7,900, low 8,000. That 7,900, 800 number started going up higher and higher. And now, literally in the span of a week, there's 8,520. You guys are saying, well, it's not a big deal, 500 listings. It is what it is. So my first indication here wasn't necessarily this number. It was the amount of calls I'm starting to get from people who are looking to sell because they think we're at the top of the market. They think now is the opportunity to sell because things are selling so expensively. Now, the truth is it's been this way for the last 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 months. But the way real estate works is when there is a new trend, it usually takes 2 to 3 months for it to catch on and affect things. For example, if there's a new down payment assistance programs that has maybe a limited amount of funds, if you are able to catch it the first few months of it being active, congratulations, you got lucky, because usually after 2 to 3 months, everyone starts to kind of figure it out, and then all the funds run out within literally a span of a few months, because it usually takes people 2 to 3 months to catch on to something. Like I was saying, this week I've gotten more calls from people that are saying, hey, Javier, we want to sell. And there's one particular couple, shout out to you guys, you know who you are, who is listing this beautiful, gorgeous house. It's only a few years old. It's amazing. It's going to be a great listing. Well, when we were looking at comparables, there's only like maybe 2 sales in the past month. It was not a lot in that specific area. It was going to be rough, but we were going to try to push the envelope a bit on the price. Well, in the span of a week, there's been about 2 to 3 new listings that hit the market that's an exact model match. This is a little strange. It could be just, luck. On top of that, the second thing I felt is my home buyers this week have not had that hard of a time looking for a house. Now, yes, there's of course multiple offers. That's not going to change anytime soon. But instead of it being 10, 20, 30 offers on the table, there's only 3 or 5. All these things were kind of indicators to me like, hey, this is usually harder. And now I've been looking really heavily at the new listings. And of course, in the last few days, this number has been rising very sharply. So what's going on here? Well, now with 8,500, there's still a little bit less than the month of inventory left in the market, because there's still 9,600 or 500, whatever it was, selling, and there's only 8,500 new listings. It's still less than the month. However, it seems that we're getting closer to that 1 month inventory mark where we should start feeling an adjustment. Let me show you some other stats as well. So here's what I'm talking about when I say months to inventory number, right? So like here in January 2019, we had 4 months to inventory, meaning that we had 4 months of inventory left in case there were no more new listings. Maybe there was only 6,000 houses selling, 20,000 active listings, and there's only 5,000 of them selling. So yeah, it's kind of show you an indication of what a normal market looks like. And here, so in the last 3 months, we can see here that it's been 1, July being less than 1, and now August is 1. So what we should start seeing relatively soon is this going higher and higher and higher and higher. Now, March, April, and May seem like, oh, well, there was 1 or 2 months of inventory left. And I believe this is because people were afraid to buy, because everyone had this like reaction to the market where, kind of like a fight or flight thing where you just kind of freeze up. That's why I think it was still looking somewhat healthy. And then once people got rid of that fear, it became this. So look at what happened to the average sold price. If you can see here, starting January, 365 is the average price, 376, 378, 369, 353. And then, of course, look at this huge increase. It's a huge increase, guys. That's like about $24,000 that it increased. Now, if you look in the past history, it's only gone up or down maybe a little bit. But yeah, it's been pretty consistent, only a few thousand going up. This price increase is pretty concerning. Like I said in my previous video with first-time home buyers, being every month that passes, it's becoming more unobtainable to buy a house. Well, eventually we're gonna catch up to that point where, because they're not able to buy, they're going to get discouraged and they're not going to want to buy, therefore decreasing the demand of houses. As a matter of fact, I was talking to my lender, and she's even saying that she's had her pre-approval numbers decrease significantly in the last 2 to 3 weeks. So what's happening? Sellers are trying to catch on that it's a good time to sell. And because they're catching on that it's a good time to sell, more people will begin listing their house. And I see 3 things happening here. One is that maybe it meets the demand of the buyers. The buyers gobble up the new listings and everything continues as normally, and we're still on this hell of a market. Second thing I see is that the inventory kind of calms down the buyer demand. The buyers that really were desperate to buy are not able to buy, and now these incredible above listing price offers, these cash offers, we start decreasing their demand, and it kind of calms down where the freaking price isn't boosting up like it's been. The third thing I see happening is there's such an incredible amount of new listings that hit the market that it actually surpasses the buyer's demand. And because it surpasses the buyer's demand, listings will start staying on the market longer. And if they stay on the market longer, supply and demand shifts. And now we see a potential buyer's market, not a seller's market. Now remember, these market adjustments don't happen overnight. They don't just crash like people want them to. It's a very steady decline or incline, right? So this could all be a fluke. This could just be like, hey, it just happens to be a weird week where there's a ton of new listings and this means nothing. And if that's the case, you're not going to see this video because I'm going to delete it. But if this turns out to be the first sign of the changing market, I want to make sure to document it. And I want you guys to talk to me about what's going on in your market. There's been people even telling me that there's more back on market listings happening now than there were months ago. And these are people that have been looking for months. So what are you seeing in your market? Are you seeing more new listings? Are you seeing more back on the market listings? Please let me know. Comment below. Let's all have a discussion. And let's see if this is just a fluke or if something's seriously changing. See ya.